What do you need to know in 2023 as you get ready for and live throughout retirement? Well, in today's episode, we're going to walk you through what we have coming for you in 2023. We add a lot of value. That's our goal. So by the end of this episode, you're going to realize that you do have the resources to have a safe, secure retirement all the way through. And so we hope you enjoy this episode.
To learn more about how to secure your retirement and all the different elements you need to know, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you'll be notified when we release episodes every Monday. We have helped hundreds of our clients gain clarity and get on the path to a great retirement. Now it's your turn. Let's dive in.
Welcome, everyone, to Secure Your Retirement Podcast. Today is the day that we all look forward to. We have Morgan with us on the show. And when you have Morgan on the show, you know it's called our wind down. But here's the thing, before she introduces the drink of choice today, just to remind you, Morgan and I have been doing this challenge, if you might want to call it that. It's 75 days of craziness where we've been working out a couple of times per day. One of them has to be outside. And one big part of this particular deal was that we could have no alcohol for 75 days. So we've done our wind downs really with a different type of drink. So today, Morgan, what is our drink of choice?
Sure. Today we're featuring the Acqua del Filtro. It's the finest that we could find here from our very highly technical filtered water system. So it's water.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's good. It's drinkable. It pairs well with like everything. You really could even take a bath in it.
Oh boy, I tell you. Hey, this is our last one of these, by the way. We are free to have us a glass of wine starting in February. So we'll be back with our normal wind down drink of or wine of the month. But today, we're going to really kind of be looking at some of the topics for 2023. So, Morgan, could you kind of give us a little bit of an outline of some of the topics, and then we'll dive right into our first one?
Sure. We're going to be covering 5 today. The Secure Act 2.0. Who needs a trust? That's going to be an interview. Social Security strategies. Number 4 is going to be tax planning updates with all the updated numbers from 2023. And then also a quarterly update with Andrew Updike.
Yeah. So, hey, just so to set this up, what we're doing is this is a look ahead type of podcast. We wanted to set up some of the things that are coming so you can be on the lookout for them. And that's the whole purpose of this. So we'll jump right in. What's your first one there, Morgan?
The first one is the Secure Act 2.0. I know we covered the first one last year, but what is this one?
Yeah, so I'll set this one up. The Secure Act was the original Secure Act was passed in 2020, and that changed some of the rules as far as RMDs and things like that. And so we talked a lot about that. And it went from the RMD went from age 70 and a half to 72. And just as we started to get used to that, last year, December 29th, Congress passed the Secure Act 2.0. And I'm not going to give you all the details, but RMDs are changing in a significant manner that we are going to want to understand. And especially if you were close or if you were turning 72 this year, you're definitely going to want to listen to this one. Basically, RMDs the age is changing again. And did
you say what RMDs are?
RMDs, yeah, good point, Radon. RMDs, required minimum distribution. So the government puts a requirement on pre-tax dollars like IRAs, traditional 401ks, 457, basically any account that you haven't paid taxes on that you've deferred as a retirement plan. At some point, the government said that, we've given you tax breaks and eventually we're going to force you to start withdrawing on these accounts. And that is the required minimum distribution. So again, it used to be age 70 and a half, then it moved to 72. And now Secure Act 2.0 is going to change that number all over again, but it's in our favor. It's delaying it a little bit more, either to age 73 or 75. So you're going to want to pay attention to that one when we roll it out. There's also things that have changed with the Secure Act 2.0, like the penalty on the RMD has gone down. So that's a good thing. We never want to miss an RMD, but we want to understand how we can make it up and the penalties around it. Catch-up contributions, that's a big one for a lot of people that are at the age of 50 and up that are trying to do as much as they can to save into various retirement accounts. Those numbers have changed as well. And there's a whole list of things that the Secure Act 2.0 brings to the table. I'll tell you, it was released only a few weeks ago, at the end of December. So we're still kind of deciphering what all that means. I think it's like a 4,000-page document. And that episode is going to be power packed. Be sure to stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, Mercer's going to do that he's going to do that as a research project, read all 4,000 pages and be ready for it.
Yeah.
Another topic that we're going to be discussing is who needs a trust, and that will be via an interview with Andres from Trust and Wills.
Yeah, so we have had him on before, but we want to revisit it. We've had a lot of questions, and Merce and I are huge in our firm about making sure that you have all the estate planning documents in place that you need. In fact, for all of our clients that we work with, we provide this service at no cost to them. We cover the cost ourselves so that they can have a trust, a will, a power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, all of these documents, a HIPAA form. All of these documents should be in place. But one of the questions, everybody knows they need a will. Everybody knows they need, or at least they should know they need a will. They need a power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, and even a HIPAA form. But the question comes up, at what point and why and how and all the different things around a trust. Why do I need that? Do I need that? Does it make it more complicated? And so we've had enough questions around this idea of, do I need a trust? We thought it would be good to have Andres back on. And let's just walk through, what are the mechanics? What's the difference between a trust and a will? Are there things within my estate plan that I need to have in place to say that this now requires a trust? What type of trust do I need? Because there's different types of trust. And so we're going to walk through exactly what that looks like. And we're going to make sure that we make a big point there again. What are the documents I need to have in place and why?
All right. And then another topic is going to be Social Security strategies. And within that, a couple of different areas. One being, what is the best age?
Yeah, so I think Social Security strategies is a huge, huge topic, and I think this will end up being at least one episode, maybe a few, but one, Morgan, on what is the best age. If you go to our YouTube channel or back to the podcast that we originally did of comparing Social Security of 65 versus 62, I mean, that got, Braden, how many views does that thing have right now?
I think it's close to 300,000.
Yeah, 300,000 views on YouTube. So we want to update that because that was a couple years ago, and the question is still the same, but the way we may look at it may be a little bit different. But we're definitely going to talk about from a perspective of how do we answer the question of what is the best age to be taking Social Security. I think that's a full episode in itself. And
then an interview with Heather Schreiber.
Yeah. Now, Heather is a consultant that we have hired, and Heather, she knows the ins and outs of everything we should do around Social Security. And so we've had her on, and one of the strategies that she talked about was just really, really awesome. And then she said, hey, you got to have me back on to talk about this other strategy. And so we want to make sure that we walk through some of these different potential issues that could come up around Social Security, because Social Security is a complicated factor around this idea of when's the best time to take it. So we're going to have her back on and just go into detail of all of these different ideas and strategies around Social Security.
I think another topic we were going to cover there is the IRMAA for 2023. All the updated thresholds for the year. Yeah,
with Social Security and Medicare kind of go hand in hand, and you want to understand what IRMAA is. And if I wish I could tell you exactly what the IRMAA stands for, but we will have it for you on that podcast when we put that episode out. But it's basically a premium on your Medicare parts B and D, and it's subject to what your income is. And so we'll walk you through all of that. We did a great episode on it last year, but those numbers change year to year. So we want to make sure you have the most current information. So we'll walk you through what IRMAA is and what you want to be thinking around it.
And then, of course, a big part of tax or of retirement planning is tax planning. So we'll have a topic on all those updated 2023 numbers.
Yeah. So in 2023, a lot of the different contribution levels, thresholds, all of that changed. And so what we want to do is walk through all of the 2023 numbers, meaning how much can you contribute to a traditional? How much can you contribute to a Roth? What are the 401k contributions? There's some new things that have come about within the updated rules that allow employers now to contribute their part on a Roth side of things if they choose to do so. The idea of doing Roth conversions, all of that we want to take into account and say, let's have, and that honestly, the tax conversation will probably be a multi-layered conversation. And in that particular update too, we're going to have one of the CPAs that we've partnered with come on, and we're going to interview him as well, just to make sure that we're all up to date on all of these new guidelines and rules so that we're doing the best we can in 2023. Because I think everybody's concerned about their returns when it comes to investments, but right there, neck and neck, is how much am I going to pay in taxes? So we think that's going to be a very big episode, probably multi-layered.
All right. Another one to consider is our quarterly updates with Andrew Updike.
Yeah, so we know that you guys love listening to Raiden and I talk about various different topics, but we like to have guests on the show, and Andrew Updike has been a regular on our show. He's a economist with a company called First Trust Investments, a very large investment company, and we are always happy to have him on whenever we can get him on. He's a very busy person, but the way that he talks about the economy, the way that he explains things and basically tells a story that really anyone can grasp is why we like to get him back as often as we can. And so our goal is to try to get him somewhat on a quarterly basis to walk us through all the things that are at the top of our minds, especially right now in 2023, where inflation's at, the debt ceiling, the potential of a recession coming up, and where the market's headed for the year and going forward. So as much as we can get him in, we know that you guys love to hear from him. So be looking forward to an interview, a nice one with Andrew Updike.
Yeah, and the plan there with Andrew is that we'll have him on every quarter. So you'll look for him at the end of the first quarter. So he'll be on the 1st of April. And in that time frame, again, as Merce said, as we can get him scheduled. And then that basically is going to be like all throughout the year that we'll have him on. So that's the goal. And they've committed to allowing us to be able to have him for those interviews. Well, that has wind us on down to the end of our having to not have wine episode. But we hope this has been beneficial. We have a blog written on this, just kind of with all these things listed out as well. We hope that we're going to be able to add a lot of value to the year here in 2023. If you'd like to have a conversation with myself or Merce, please go to the website, top right-hand corner, click on schedule call. Our calendar comes up. You can just easily click on it, schedule that call. We'd be glad. It's complimentary, no obligation. We'll answer any questions that we possibly can. But thank you so much for coming on and listening to us. We look forward to talking to you again next Monday. We hope this video has given you some confidence and clarity as you plan for a worry-free life in retirement. But what else do you need? We have created a complimentary video course called 3 Keys to Secure Your Retirement. This video walks you through step by step what you need to do to get ready for retirement. You can also check out our podcast called Secure Your Retirement. You can subscribe below.
For more retirement tips, check out these videos. Also, if you find them valuable, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like.